Welcome back to the channel, my fellow traders. In today's video, you're going to see me interview Take Profit Trader's CEO. I think this marks a major milestone for my channel. So thank you guys for sticking with me even from the beginning. You can see there from my my logos, very rough at first. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about James, which he is the CEO and founder of Take Profit Trader. So this interview has been a long time coming, and I'm really happy and excited to bring it to you guys. Who is the CEO of Take Profit Trader? I was really surprised when I interviewed him. I didn't expect him to be the type of dude he is. I really got along with him. A trader knows another trader. This is something he said in the interview that really stuck with me. So he went from being a pro hockey player to trader to helping traders. He's to teach traders, and then he started Take Profit Trader. So he's traded prop firm, so he understands our pain points and what we want and what we need. Found a video of him playing hockey. So here it is. There he is. Yeah. See? Badass, right? All right. So let's go ahead and get in the interview. I think you'll find what I found, that he's a cool dude, very relatable, and actually wants to help traders. I think that's the main point there, because a lot of these CEOs, they may seem like they want to, but I don't think they actually do. But James, I definitely believe he does. All right, welcome, James. Nice to have you on the channel today. Why don't we start off with you telling us a little bit about like how you used to teach traders? I think that would be valuable for the viewers.
I did. It's out there in a couple different places. When I started trading, Jared, I wasn't very good, man. I didn't know what I didn't know, like most people, right? And I think
Yeah.
that's what a lot of people that trade to take profit and know me actually like about it. It's like these guys aren't suits. They're regular guys that you can tell that they've actually traded. They know the lingo.
Right. Yeah.
They
Actual
know
traders.
exactly. And I think I spelled this out in the playbook PDF. It was like, what I see on a daily basis are the same things that I used to do wrong. And it pains me to watch it. And we'll probably get into this in this conversation about it's the same mistakes over and over every single day. Over trading, trading too big, over trading, trading too big,
Yeah.
trading, trading too big. And like, to be honest with you, I'm 12 years in, I still make some of the same mistakes.
Right.
Right? It's
Right.
like it's you never become really like uh, over them completely. You're going to always kind of push the limits, and sometimes that means going, past those limits. And I don't mean limits and stop losses. I just mean in limits of like what you should be doing and what you end up doing, right?
Right. Yeah.
You're constantly like on that edge because this is about maximizing profit too, right? That's what trading is. It's like when you have a trade and you're averaging into a winner or something like that, and you're trying to get everything out of it, squeeze everything out of it. And sometimes you take that a little bit too far. Uh,
Yeah.
and it's a never ending battle.
Awesome, James. I think there's a lot of traders actually struggling to get funded. I know it took me a very, very long time to kind of like reach that next level and get funded. What would you say to those traders that are still struggling to get funded or pass evaluations? Maybe been grinding it out for a while.
Yeah, I mean, in this conversation, and then what I try to talk about in these conversations is if you're going through some of these problems and some of the problems we'll talk about today, it's perfectly normal, and you just got to keep going because there is light at the end of the tunnel. And we have several guys, and I mentioned this guy Daniel on the last one, and he had written to me and said, "I'm done trading. I'm done. Like, I'm losing too much money." And then this past year, he actually withdrew the most money at Take Profit Trader.
Oh, dang.
So it's not like, hey, if you're down, you're out.
Nice. Good for him. Yeah. I was like right on the verge, right before I hit profitability. It was like probably when I felt like quitting the most. It's like, that you see that meme where the guy's like digging through rocks with the pick. That's exactly how I felt. Like the gold's right there. It's like only a couple inches away and you're just picking. Like I felt like that too. Right before I was about to give up is right when I hit my first stride. So I definitely could see that. Yeah, you can keep
In order to
pushing.
win the game, you got to stay in the game, right? And it's
Exactly.
just and so yeah, that's I did get started in teaching, but I just felt like teaching was only a part of it. So we try to like do the teaching indirectly and tell you, hey, here's big picture what you should do, what you shouldn't do. More importantly, like you could teach somebody the best way to trade, but if they don't have any money or they don't have any way to access money, it's probably not going to do them any good. Ask somebody
Exactly.
that
Yeah.
has a $500 Robinhood account that has a that has a great trading plan. Like, he's probably still going to bust because he's probably going to try to leverage that $500 too far.
Exactly. Yeah.
Making 10% a year on $500.
Exactly. Yeah. I've been there before. I've blown many, many small accounts over leveraging them before. So you originally were a professional hockey player, correct?
That's right. That's right.
Nice. Do you think that's played into your ability to trade, like going through it, the struggle getting to that level of a professional sports athlete and the like grit that it took there, like the competitive aspect of it?
It's a good question, Jared. I don't know. There's certainly overlapping characteristics
Right.
that help. Like, I would say like grit is a pretty important one in sports because you got to push through a lot of, of course, like when you're at the top of any pyramid, it takes a lot to get there, a lot of blood, sweat, and tears. And the same thing with
Right.
trading, right? Like, so there's a certain amount of overlap there with the grit and the determination, perseverance, just simple cliche characteristics like that. But I think that rooted most is the passion.
Definitely think passion is a huge part of it too. What do you think about the difference between the cash account route versus the funded trader route? What do you think traders should do in that situation? Should they go with the funding route or should they go with the cash account? I know you own a funded company, so you're probably gonna be a little bit biased, but I still think your opinion on this would be important.
I traded with some prop firms when I had lost a bunch of money when I was playing hockey in Germany on my own because those were the days where there was no micros. So it was only
Right.
like I was trading just the ES, $50 a point. I lost about 100 grand plus,
Whew.
my hockey salary that year because there were no prop firms. So, when we talk about prop firms, it says, yeah, like you can certainly reset 10 times and spend, have 5 subscriptions that cost you $1,500, whereas my mistakes are costing me 15,000, right?
Yeah.
Because those accounts were real dollars lost. So you probably won't be successful right away, but it's certainly a hell of a lot cheaper than it used to be. And partly it takes people longer the prop firm way because it's not as painful. Like
Yeah.
pain makes you change, right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah, change is the
um,
biggest part to get. Yeah, that's definitely true. It's hard to get new traders to actually make the changes necessary to become profitable. I could definitely see how prop firm trading is less painful and slows that down. What made you want to start Take Profit Trader? Um, I think it's awesome what you've already done for the community because you introduced payouts from day one, the first company to ever do that. And I think that alone is such a huge a leap in the funding industry. So, what made you want to start Take Profit Trader? I think that's definitely what I'm interested in as a person, an entrepreneur myself, because I imagine starting something like that must have been quite the endeavor.
I was trading at some prop firms and there were some things I didn't like. So I helped consult for another prop firm, and things didn't work out with that prop firms. And so I just kind of started Take Profit. I'm like, we'll figure it out. Got a bunch of guys I played pro hockey with. There were other athletes in the company, and we were like, hey, let's just try it. We started small, and it was more of like, hey, we're going to be a firm for the traders and trying to give them the things that I didn't like about some of the other places. Like I hated the fact that I had scaling plan once I got live, or I hated the fact that like I couldn't get any money out for a certain amount of days or something like that. So we kind of built it around there. And to be honest with you, it's been challenging. It's been a
I
lot of
bet.
we've made a lot of mistakes. We're continuing to kind of evolve. And we're trying to do new things too at the same time as try to keep the industry moving forward. One of the things actually we've done today is the rewards program. So if you follow us on Instagram, you get a certain amount of points. Every subscription, you get a certain amount of points, and you're giving away more, tests, resets, stuff like that to try to, incentivize people to, and really to gamify it because people like that. People are like, well, how do
Yeah,
if I don't have the funds to trade or I don't have the funds to start a subscription, like, what can I do? If I told my friends and family, like, does that earn me some points to be able to, potentially use that towards a subscription? And sure, it just the problem, Jared, is it takes some time to build this stuff out because we're building it all out ourselves. We're not using like third party systems to do it. So it just takes some time, and everything takes longer than you think, you know?
Yeah. Nice. I like that. I like the reward system. That would be good. So if you're watching this, go check them out on Instagram. Get those points and maybe you get a free account or two. So James, how long did it take you from the thought of Take Profit Trader until launch? So how hard was it to start Take Profit Trader? And what did it take, just so us, me, and the viewers understand, like, what does it take to start a prop firm? And what was the experience like starting it?
No, the reason that you see so many prop firms out there, I'll be honest with you, is like the software is out there. You sign a contract with a firm, and like you can be a prop firm. That's why there's 100 of them today.
Right.
But there is a lot of tech on top of that that you have to do to be able to, handle, encrypt information so that people's information is secure. You have to have an affiliation, not an affiliation, I shouldn't say, but like you have to be able to report things correctly because the CME wants to market data and they want their money for that. So there's a lot of things that the customer doesn't see, and thankfully so, because like if you've ever tried to open up like a prop firm account at a broker, it's exhausting. Like they ask you for 400 different pieces of information, fill out this form, fill out that, give me a DNA sample while you're at it. It sucks, like
Yeah.
to be honest, and so it still sucks. It's just that we're doing it on our side. We have, a
Right.
team that's doing it so that you don't have to deal with it.
That's definitely cool.
And so it's trying to remove the barriers of entry. There were a lot of them. There was the
Yeah.
money, trading futures. There is like the pain in trying to set up the accounts. There's a pain in trying to figure out how much margin you have. There's a pain of doing this. There's a pain of doing that. It's like, okay, how many of these can we legally take from you so that we can provide that service for you? And then, give people the opportunity to also at the same time access the funds that they make. And that's really been like kind of the hallmark of Take Profit. And it came together within, I don't know, 6 months, but I'll say we're years in and we're still not even like, the things that, that we want to have out there. It's just, again, it takes some time.
Awesome, James. Thanks for the insight. See, that's that stuff that we don't know. That's definitely super cool. When you guys first came out, when I first saw Take Profit Trader's website, I saw that you guys had plans to offer, I think it was stocks, maybe crypto too, or maybe it was options. I can't remember which one. Do you guys still have plans to offer different trading assets other than futures, or is regulations tighten up and you're not able to do that?
There's uh,
Regulations,
we
huh?
took it off. The regulation is the biggest problem with that, Jared. It's not that we
Mm,
don't want to do them. There's certain things that you're just not allowed to do. Let's just put it
right.
that way.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
And with all of the the eyeballs now on the prop firms, there's certain things that we just don't. There's gray areas, and we're not gonna toe those lines, right? We want
Gotcha.
to do
Yeah.
what we know we're allowed to do. You get some opinions from some people up there that says, hey, you guys, let focus on this for now, worry about that stuff later. And we're like, all right.
That definitely makes sense, James. So you're already touching on my next question. I was just about to ask you, what do you think about Forex funding? I think personally, and I've been saying for almost 7 months now, maybe longer, that people need to get away from Forex funding. It's a scam. It's shady. It's not a centralized price like futures are. Futures are one centralized price. So you have the inside scoop, and I would love to get it from you here, James.
I think the Forex is the Wild West, man. I don't know how anybody gets away with just like making up the price that they think
Yeah.
that it should be. It's like, and that's one of the great things about futures. I mean, the CME, as we call them, the big bad CME, but they're not like that. They want the money for their data because they have their infrastructure, right? And the infrastructure allows us to have a business and you guys to trade transparently, so
Yeah.
that it's never like the price you're getting, Jared, is the same price I'm getting. It's the same price
Exactly.
Citadel's getting. You're not getting a different price. We've got the timestamps. Don't tell me you're getting a different price than Citadel. You're getting the same price.
Exactly. It's fair and transparent, pretty much the exact opposite of Forex.
Oh, we put you in a different bucket because you're in this kind of account, and we actually raise the spread on those accounts. And oh, by
Yeah.
the way, we also know where your stop is on those accounts. And since the price isn't centralized, we'll just run the stop just so you're out of your, it's wild.
Yeah, I actually did a video on FTMO and why I think it's connected to my Forex funds. In that video, I go through the legal documents and point out 6 different ways that my Forex funds was actually manipulating the price against their own traders,
And
which
so
I think
what
that's
you'll
pretty
see,
wild.
it's crazy. And it's also, um, very important that people understand too, that when you're working with registered brokers, like, everybody knows, Trade of Eight, they're registered with the CME, with they're registered IBs with NFA. There is, like, the order comes to, it doesn't even come right now to Take Profit Trader. It goes right to them. They're registered. Like, we're
Oh,
not
wow.
doing nothing with the price. We're doing nothing with the price. All of the risk and the stuff is being run. The order is getting sent directly to them. Okay. And it
Okay.
runs through their stuff. So there's this, like, this thought that, when Jared puts an order into Take Profit Trader into a platform, we get it and we decide what to do with it. No, like, it
No.
goes right to a risk system that's third party, that does not belong to us. So we don't
Right.
hold it, manipulate it, do anything with it other
Yeah.
than pass it on to somebody that's regulated to the most stringent rules and regulations out there. So there's and that's where Forex goes wrong, because they're allowed to do what they want with your order. Maybe they decide that they're going to put more spread on that one versus that
Yeah.
one, and you start treating people differently, man. That's not
That's a
good.
slippery slope, right? I'm really looking for that inside scoop. I feel like I owe it to my followers just to press you a little bit harder. Maybe you do, or maybe you don't know, but I have to ask one more time. Do you think Forex funding gets shut down in the future? Do you think it will be around or not?
No, man. I know that I think that the case was botched a little bit on the regulator side. I'm not sure. I'm not an expert. I do know that I don't think that space can continue like it does. And what you've
Right.
seen, I think, Jared, you probably know this more than me, but what we've noticed over the last couple of months is that a lot of places do not accept U.S. customers
Yeah.
anymore.
I've been seeing that. Yeah.
Because CFDs is illegal in the United States. I don't know about Forex. I know that you're not supposed to have a Forex account, but CFDs is really off limits. And I think I've heard through the grapevine, I've never actually verified this because I don't know any FX funds, that someone told me that 90% of the orders coming through those funds were CFD orders. Like, they're trading. I'm not sure if you're aware of CFDs, but they're basically like,
Yeah. Yeah. I am. Yeah.
yeah, they're like,
Yeah.
they,
Like,
they make up a product like S&P 500, NASDAQ, and oil one, and most of their customers are trading those,
yeah.
not actually FX products, and those are
Right.
strictly prohibited in the United States. So
Yeah. Awesome, James. I appreciate that. I think everyone at home will appreciate the answer there. It definitely helps those traders have a better insight. So I appreciate you answering that question. So the next question I have to ask you is about futures. Like, do you think futures funding will be around? I think it will be. I think because of the centralized price, it will be okay. But you're the prop firm owner. So what do you think, James? Do you think futures funding is safe and is going to be around forever? Or do you think regulation might crack down on futures funding as well?
I think we're good. I think what we're seeing is a lot of people from the FX didn't even know that this stuff, like, that they were getting hosed over
Existed,
there,
yeah.
and now they're like, damn, futures, that sounds like. And if I can show them, like, okay, you can trade the 6J, the Japanese yen, in futures just as you can in the FX market, but it's on a central exchange, you get the same price as everybody else. If you
Yeah.
get the same amount of leverage, like, why would you ever trade that?
Yeah, I try to convince people all the time. Like, I'm just like, it's one step. It's 10% of the cost of the other places, the Forex places. It is centralized price. There's no spread. The evaluations are quicker. The leverage is higher. Like, what is the reason? I've tried to figure that out for a long time, but I think it just comes down to education, maybe. What do you think?
Indoctrination, to be honest with you, Jared, and, like, that's on our roadmap too, is to, like, show them, how it's actually, if you already know how to trade FX, it would take you at most a week to figure out the differences in ticks versus pips. Like, You know,
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
it's simple, and it's and I think I don't see how one could like FX over futures once you trade. That's my point here is like I think it's just more of like them understanding and getting an understanding that they can't actually do what
Yeah,
they think that they can't do. They think that, "Oh, I
right.
can't do the same thing over there." It's like, "Yeah, you can. Let me show you like how similar it is."
Awesome, James. I think you saying it's going to be huge because I try to tell people all the time that CME, it is one central exchange price. If we go through Trade of Eight, you have to sign a contract. It's all legal and fine, but I'm obviously not the owner of a prop firm like you are. So hearing it from your mouth that they're going to be safe with futures and futures funding isn't going anywhere is really big.
It's a centralized exchange. That's what absolves. That's what that's what keeps it way
Legit.
more above board and legit and less likely to be. I mean, who knows? Like we've gotten several opinions and most other firms have too. And if you're like futures is way more safe than anything else out there because of the centralized exchange. Now, when you're talking about equities, that's also on an exchange, but there's a lot more securities laws like, SEC, Security Exchange Commission, like there's a lot more laws on stocks than
Okay.
there are on you got stuff like PD pattern day trading rules and stuff like that in stocks that you don't have in futures. So futures seems to be the sweet spot.
I know we touched on this earlier, but is there anything else cool coming up for Take Profit Trader? Any changes that traders might be interested in that is coming up that would impact traders in any kind of way?
The rewards is out now. That took some time. There are some other things that are coming, and usually the way it works with us is we roll these things out like we do one big lift. The thing right before that was Plaid. I'm not sure if you've used Plaid yet to take out money.
Yeah, I have quite a bit actually, and I'd have to say it's definitely a lot better than I thought it was gonna be. I thought it'd be like the other company that says they do payouts from day one, where it took me emailing them 24 hours, me to get a response 24 hours, and then 3 days later I got the payout. But with you guys, no joke, was like 4 hours from the time I requested it to hit my PayPal. So definitely congrats to you guys for making that happen.
Is basically like everything is integrated with our site.
Yeah,
So you just put in your bank account information. We never see it. We don't get it. You don't have to send it to us. You put it in. You take out your money whenever you want. That was before rewards. Now rewards is out. Now they all overlap. So we're working on our next thing now.
nice,
Which
awesome.
I can't. We'll have another call when it's done. And
Okay,
they come out pretty much like every month or month and a half. It just takes them some time
right.
to get it out because of
Awesome, cool. Yeah, we'll definitely have to do that, do another one when you have something else new coming up. But I think the payouts set you guys so far apart from any other prop firm because once you start getting payouts, it really matters to you. Like when you're in the beginning, evaluations really matter to you. Like, can you pass them? What are the rules? But once you start getting payouts, it becomes about the money, right? The money becomes important. So that's what I think differentiates, you from everyone else in the whole funding industry is that you guys offer the payouts from day one. It separates you as like a real prop firm versus the beginner prop firms, like the more advanced for traders that are profitable, getting payouts so then they can have access to their money from day one, unrestricted, and really run up those accounts that are going to make the difference.
Yeah, well, I mean, and again, I think that that's the pain points of what my pain points when I was a trader, and most of that's what makes take profit. I think popular with some people is like
Yeah,
they feel like it's
definitely.
through a lens of a trader. It's like the same
Hmm.
pain points, like, but you would only know that if you did it. So it's like you go back to my start as a hockey player. Like if I walk into a hockey rink, I know a player when I see one. If you're a trader, you know one when you talk to one. You
Yeah,
know,
exactly. Yeah.
it's just you walk the same, you talk the same, you look the same, you say the same thing. It's just and so when you're talking to a trader, you're talking to a owner of a firm versus a trader at a firm. It doesn't matter. Like we're all people, we're all the same, and we're just trying to, we're trying to give them the things that I was like, how can the firm be just this one sided? How can it be all for the firm and nothing for the
Right.
trader? And it's good for traders because there's a lot of options out there now. So the take profit traders is not the only one, and that forces everybody to get better. It forces, like, the
Exactly.
trader experience is better now than it's ever has been.
At least a million times better. When I first started, there wasn't that many options. There was like two or three, and the rules would just like long list of rules, and you get screwed over all. Yeah.
Exactly. You can't just do whatever you want anymore, because
Yeah.
if you do, then they'll just go, "Oh, okay, I'll go over there." And
Yeah.
that's
All right, let's take a little bit of a turn here, James. So I asked the community, my followers, what would it take for Take Profit to be the number one funded company? And I also asked them if they had any questions for you, and both of them merged into the same question. The funded accounts, why are you implementing trailing drawdown into the funded accounts? That's everyone's biggest complaint. That's the only bad thing I ever hear about Take Profit Trader. So if you could answer that for us and tell them, like, tell the viewer why you guys have implemented that rule, I think it really helped them understand, from the back end aspect of a prop firm company. Any
that's a good
plans
one.
to change that?
That's a good one. This is one of the things that when I was telling you we're working on now. And there's a lot of data behind it too. So there's what you'll notice in the industry is when a rule, it always goes back to risk mitigation, right?
Okay.
If a firm comes out and goes, okay, we're gonna give you no rules at all, you know for a fact right behind it there's going to be like, but you can't get your money out.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's give
And
and
if you can
take.
get all
Yeah,
your money out, then it's going to be harder. It's there's got to be the risk mitigation on one side or the other. So
exactly.
I 100% agree with, people not liking trailing drawdown. I get it. It's harder, but if we didn't have it, and we're trying to figure out how we could strategically, like, remove it and still offer the things that people like, because that, of course, that would be the best case scenario. But what I tell people is, if you really don't want trailing drawdown, then you need to go to a place where you're just not going to get your money as fast, and
That's what I tell them.
that might be for you, and that's great, and we understand that. Like, we're smart people, we understand that, like,
Yeah.
people are going to like this better, and they might go over there, and that's cool. But we know our numbers, and we know what works for us, and we're always trying to, like, we just removed the 50 execution rule because
Yes, man.
because we had the data to finally say, okay, the traders want it, we're going to remove it, we'll be okay in risk mitigation. Now, until you know that, or until you're never sure, but until you're pretty certain about it, you want to make sure that the firm is going to be around to give these people the opportunities. Because if you just, like, on a whim remove a rule or something, then everybody
No.
withdraws their money on day one, and you're stuck with the losses. There might not be a take profit trader.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I tell traders. It's always give and take, and this is what's make Take Profit a real prop firm. I think just most traders are focused on the valuation stage because that's the stage you're in. But once traders start getting payouts consistently, or even get to funded accounts consistently, answered it
Legit. I mean,
perfectly.
it's legitimate, and I like, I wear that. I understand that, and I agree with that. You know, and I'm just trying to, educate your audience and everybody else out there from the firm's standpoint, is like,
Yeah,
if there's one, you got to look at the other side, because there's something that they're pulling back over there. Like,
exactly.
a good example, there's a deeply discounted firm out there, and everybody knows them, and they're great. I can never talk trash about them. They're great. They offer accounts for $15, and you can have 100 of them at a time, and great. Like, you never hear anybody Take Profit Trader talking shit about them, because we don't need to, because everybody that's smart knows, okay, I can go do that, but I can only
But
take out, like, but I get, trailing drawdown on both sides, and I only can take out this. So there's pluses and minuses, man. It all goes down.
yeah, that's what I always try to tell people. It's always give and take. One prop firm's going to have something you want, the other one's going to have something you want, but they're all not going to have what you want because they can't financially afford it to do that. They can't give you everything you want and then still be up and running next week, right?
Said it. I said, if anybody could offer it all, they'd take the entire market. But the reason that nobody's done it is, if you did offer it all, you wouldn't be a company anymore, right? Because we're in
Exactly.
the risk mitigation in the risk mitigation space. So it's a great question, man. I really appreciate you bringing it up and telling me it's something that I already know. And it's something that before, I mean, we were on the phone from 9:30 this morning until 12:15, the executive team going like combing through troves of data to see. It's like, this is what these are the things we work on while you guys are trading.
Right.
We work on how could we make the experience better for the trader.
I hope the people that watch this really see like what I'm seeing right now. I'm seeing a owner and a trader that is trying to make his company better and is trying to help the trading community. So I really think if you guys continue doing what you're doing, you guys are going to take over the funded space. In my opinion, you guys are already number one, and it won't take very long until everyone else sees that too.
I appreciate that. And we're trying, man. And like, we're not, the thing that I always want to get out to your audience and when I have these calls is that like, we're open to the feedback and anything. We get a lot of messages, like hate messages and stuff like that. And I get it. Like, I get people, say things bad, terrible things when they're pissed off, they lost an account. I get it. Like, I don't hold grudges against people for that. But just know that we don't have our heads stuck in the mud over here saying, nope, that's the way it's going to be. It's that way
Right.
because it's for the longevity of the trader in the business. Like, if there's no business, there can be no trader. And if there's no trader, there's no business. So it's a dance. This is what the word I use, you hear me use all the time, is this is such a
Yeah.
fucking dance with the rules versus payout structures versus
Right.
adding new features. It's like, what does the feature do? It's like, it's complicated, but we love it. And I'm not
Yeah.
saying that in a negative. We love trying to figure out creative ways to give a trader all of it. Because like you said, is there a place that has it all? I hope in 3 months or in 6 months it's Take Profit Trader and we've figured out a way. And there is a way out there. I haven't figured it out yet.
Right, right. But you're striving to get there, right? That's what matters.
Exactly. I'm trying to get there.
And do you have anywhere my following can follow you or like interact with you in any kind of way? YouTube channel or anything like that you would like to shout out here? Obviously, I'll put the link to Take Profit Trader in the description, and then they can also check out my website. But other than that, do you have anywhere where traders can interact with you?
Anything personal, man. I got young kids and I got a pretty,
Right.
I try to keep
Okay.
my stuff pretty private. But we do share a lot of stuff and I type a lot of that stuff with my own fingers and Take Profit Traders, IG, and
Okay.
stuff like that. And then of course you guys see me on YouTube from time and again. We took a short break on YouTube after the whole MFF thing happened because of some like legal stuff. But yeah, not anything on our side, but I'm talking more about like, you know, um, giving away, let's call it advice. If I'm talking about the way I'm looking at the market, sometimes that can be construed as advice, and we wanted to make sure that
Okay.
we weren't doing that. And nothing that anybody had said to us. It's just like, hey, it's better to till all this stuff calms down that
Yeah.
we don't
Dot
give
your
anything
eyes
that
and
can be
yeah.
construed as trading advice, even though I clearly say, hey guys, this is what I'm looking at. You know, do whatever you want, make your own plan, but this is what I'm looking at. And I used to do that every day, called it the morning ideas, and we'll eventually pick that back up. But that's the main places you can see me. A lot of my ideas come through the TPT Instagram page if you guys have Instagram. So
All right, James. So I know your time is valuable, so we'll keep this last question quick. But I have to ask, I think it's very valuable for traders to know what in your data shows like what causes traders to fail the most. And I know you guys have your handbook that's on your website that anyone that's watching should definitely check out. But beyond that, what do you see the most that is causing traders to fail, whether it be, not using a stop loss, too big of an account, not big enough of an account, too many contracts? You could like narrow that down. I think it'd be super valuable for the viewers. Of
trading
your
too big. I tell people all the time, get the biggest account you can and trade a fifth of the size you're allowed to trade, and you've got a chance. And then
Okay, okay.
you've got a chance. So that means if you're trading 150K and you have 15 lots that you can trade, don't trade any more than 3 of them, and you've got a chance.
Okay, that definitely makes sense then. I've always told people like never use the max size. Over leverage from the moment you put on a trade, usually with futures. So it almost seems like a trap to see if prop firms are seeing if you'll take the bait. Almost not saying you guys are intentionally trapping people, but almost like a test, you know?
We have a PDF on our website. It's called the playbook. And if anybody out there reads it, I actually talk about that. They say that it's like circus rules. It's not. It's a prop firm saying if anybody has the discipline to, if I'm dangling this carrot in front of you and saying, hey, you
Yeah,
got 15 contracts, look at all the money you can make. If you trade all
right.
15 of them, you might pass the evaluation, but you're going to last a day in the pro account.
Exactly. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
like it's because I mean you and I could sit here and flip a coin all day, and you're gonna hit, sometimes you're gonna hit heads 8 times in a row, which means that
Right.
if you're trading 15 contracts, you could get on a run and make some money, but that doesn't mean that it's sustainable.
All right. I think that's about it, James. I really appreciate your time and I want to thank you again for coming on here. I would definitely like to do it again, but I don't want to take up too much of your time today. I know you're a busy guy. I really do appreciate your time today.
I appreciate it. I love doing this. So we'll set these up so that when we have new announcements and stuff, I'll come
Yeah.
on with.
Yeah, definitely. We can do that, James, anytime, man. You want to get an announcement out or anything, go ahead and hit me up and we'll get you on the channel. For everyone that liked this, go ahead and hit the like button. Stick around though. I got something special for you guys that watch until the very end. Thank you again, James. Have a good one. All right, guys. So I got a giveaway for you. I think you're gonna really like it. But first, anytime you guys are interested in the latest or current discounts for prop firms like Take Profit Trader or any other prop firms, check out my website. I update it every single day. There's a new discount. It's verifiedfundingcompanies.com. If you head to the page right here, it will take you to the discount page. You can sign up for my newsletter, and I send out the tips and tricks on how to pass funding evaluations and the latest and best discounts. I'm not going to go through each discount. You guys can check it out, but every single company on this website, I guarantee that they will pay you out. So let's say a company on there, you followed the rules, you did everything you're supposed to, and they were like, we're not paying you out. I would then step in and pay you out. Just, I guarantee they pay out. All right, so to enter this giveaway, it is a free 50,000 Bull Knox evaluation. I should have asked James when we were on the interview if he would be willing to do one of these, but I forgot to ask him. So I'm not going to hit the dude up and ask him later. So I already have the codes with Bull Knox to give away. I already purchased them. So let's go ahead and give away one of these accounts. So to enter, you're going to go ahead and like the video and then subscribe to this channel. And then my second channel, I'll show you how to find that second channel in a second. And then comment below, would you rather have your money unlocked, like unlimited withdrawals from day one, like with the company with like Take Profit Trader, or would you rather have no trailing drawdown in your pro account? So something to think about. Comment below like which one you'd rather have and why. And then it's one entry per person. You can only win once per contest. And on March 27th, I will do a live stream, and then we will go ahead and pick the winner via live stream, the random generator. All right, my second channel. So here's my current channel, right? Look at it, looking pretty, huh? And this is my second channel, EMC, which stands for Easy Money Concepts, Jared King Trading. So you just head over here and subscribe to that channel. I'll put the link to my website, Take Profit Trader, and my second YouTube channel in the description. So once again, I appreciate all you guys that have stuck with me. This channel starting to pick up some steam here. My videos on this channel are actually outpacing the ones on this channel here. So I'm definitely happy about that. And I appreciate you guys. Let me know if you would like another CEO to come on and I will get that happening. Appreciate you guys. Later.